Hey everyone, welcome back. This is another revised 40 deck tech video. You can see we're gonna make a nice deck of revised cards here. It's gonna be a mono black deck, so we're using black sleeves. Just to remind everybody, the deck construction rules for revised 40 is 40 cards, no sideboard, 5 rares, max of 3 copies of any one rare, 10 uncommons, max of 3 copies of any uncommon, infinite commons except for Lightning Bolt and Curdape, which won't apply to black cards, and then restricted list you can have 1 Balance, Brain Geyser, Channel, Demonic Tutor, Mind Twist, Regrowth, Soul Ring, or Wheel of Fortune, and no anti-cards, so no Demonic Attorney, no Dark Pact in this deck. Let's take a look at what's in this deck. There's basic swamps that we'll put up here. We've got some storm sounds to go with our black theme here. We have some rare cards, some uncommon cards, more swamps, rare, uncommon, rare, land, uncommon, 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 land, common, land, common, 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 some swamps, hippie, drain life, uncommon, rare, land, green life, swamp, hippie, swamp, singer. So these are going to be our 40 cards. These in our deck, these are uncommon, or these are common, sorry, commons. All right, so we'll start with basic land. These are all swamps, same art by Dan Frazier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're gonna go 15 basic lands in this deck. Usually 15, 16 is probably the right amount for a 40 card deck. And since you're only needing 1 color, I generally go 15 in the deck. Then we have 5 rare cards in our deck. We're gonna do Ankh of Mishra is a rare. It does 2 damage to anyone who puts a land into play. We have Disrupting Scepter, forces opponent to discard a card of their choice. We have a Meek Stone artifact that does not let creatures untap if their power is greater than 2. So we're going to use some smaller creatures, Black Knight, Hypnotic Spectre, whose power is 2/2, so that we can untap those as needed. Then we have a Nightmare, which is a star flying nightmare creature whose power and toughness equals number of swamps in play. So this works well in a mono black deck where you can play 15 copies of a swamp. So if you get this out on the battlefield late, you'll have a 15/15 flyer that won't untap if you have Meek Stone. So, but hopefully you'll put this down before Meek Stone. Then you have a Royal Assassin, rare 1/1, which special ability is to tap it to destroy a tapped creature. So one kind of the thing to do with Royal Assassin and Meek Stone is if your opponent is playing Juggernauts or any cards, creatures that have a power greater than 2, they won't be able to untap after they attack. Then you can just destroy them by tapping Royal Assassin. And let's see here. These are our uncommons. We have some Black Knights. We have some Hypnotic Specters that force your opponent to discard cards. We have Sengir Vampires, 4/4 flyers that get 1/1 anytime a creature dies from Sengir. And then we have Soul Ring and a Demonic Tutor that was stamped by one of the old school clubs. And then for commons, we have Dark Ritual, 3 copies of Dark Ritual, 4 copies of Drain Life, 2 copies of Raise Dead. And so this deck also fits in the Alpha 40 deck building. You can see that we only used 1 copy of Soul Ring for our fast mana group. We don't have any of the power cards. We're not using any of the draw spells in this deck, and none of the destruction cards, none of the charms, none of the banned list. We do have 1 restricted copy of Demonic Tutor, 3 copies of Hypnotic Spectre on the moderated list, and that's it. I would say, I think this is 11 uncommon, so maybe I would swap like one of these creatures, probably Sengir Vampire. We could swap this for an extra Dark Ritual so that we have 10 uncommons and 10 common cards into the deck. But that's kind of how I would construct the deck. And then you could also kind of do a quick, like we did with the other deck, you could shuffle this up, give it a quick test. Maybe play this against the white-green Alpha 40 deck that we built yesterday. You could also work it out in Alpha 40. This would be a good mono black Alpha 40 deck. And with the revised printings, I think the most expensive card in this deck is like Demonic Tutor. So this entire deck is pretty affordable if you're just looking to test out Alpha 40. I'll put the Alpha 40 Facebook group in this description. So if you're interested in learning more about the Alpha 40 rules or Alpha cards, you can check that out and see how this, white-bordered Alpha 40 test pilot deck fares against powerful Alpha 40 decks. So there's 7. We'll just give this a quick spin and see how Alpha revised 40 functions. We've got a Sengir Vampire in our opening hand, which is on this playmat over here. Raised Dead is up there at the top. I think Dark Ritual is on here as well, and so is Demonic Tutor. So we would start by playing a swamp and passing the turn. Then we would draw. We could play another swamp, and not looking so good. We could pass the turn again. But then, turn 3, we would untap, play a swamp. Let's go ahead and try to tap a swamp for a Dark Ritual. We'll put 3 black mana in our mana pool, tap 2 more to make 5 mana, and then we'll go ahead and cast a Sengir Vampire on turn 3. And that looks pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and pass it to our opponent. They're gonna do something. We'll untap these. We'll draw another card. We'll play another land. Let's play another swamp here. So we've got tons of stuff to do here. Let's go ahead and attack with our vampire. So we'll hit them for 4. They probably don't have any flyer creatures, so they'll lose 4 life. Then we can tap another swamp. Let's play another Dark Ritual. Let's cast a Disrupting Scepter with those 3 black mana. Then let's tap 3 black mana, tap this, and make our opponent discard a card. Awesome, huh? and then we'll pass the turn. So that's tapped because it attacked. Then we'll untap our lands, draw a card for our turn. We'll play another swamp. We don't have any creatures in our graveyard. We could drain life, so let's go ahead. Drain life does 1 damage to a single target for each black mana spent in addition to the casting cost. So we would tap 2 for drain life, and then we'll tap 3 more. We'll go ahead and drain life them. Then they'll take 3, we gain 3, we can attack for 4. Pass the turn. This is kind of how a lot of the Alpha 40 games run. Oh, and we are doing pretty good. We need 1 more mana for a Nightmare. So let's just go ahead and attack for 4. Make them discard a card, something like that. We will untap, draw a card after their turn. We can tap 2. We can play Ankh of Mishra. We can make them discard a card. We can attack with Sengir, pass a turn. They do some stuff. We untap, draw a card, and we are going to cast for 3 mana. We're going to cast Hypnotic Spectre. And then we will pass. We will attack with Sengir Vampire. Pass the turn, let them cast some creatures, draw for turn, and let's go ahead and tap 2. We're gonna play Demonic Tutor. What do we want to get out of here? I think Dark Ritual would be pretty good because I think I got an idea. So we'll shuffle, get Dark Ritual, cut our deck. Demonic Tutor goes graveyard. And we'll just make them discard, pass the turn. Untap, draw. Don't have any lands to play, but we also don't want to take any damage, so we'll tap a swamp for Dark Ritual, get 3 black mana, maybe tap 3 more, drop a Nightmare onto the battlefield, just like that. Maybe we'll swing for 2 in the air, make them discard a card. Swing for 4 in the air, give them 4 damage, and then Nightmare becomes a 5/5 because we have 5 swamps. So we'll untap, draw a card. We can, let's go ahead and let's just attack with the whole team here. We'll just do, we have 5, 6, 7, 11 in the 11 flying damage. That's pretty good. And then for fun, let's just go ahead and drain life for 3. That'll probably be a pretty tough deck. So that is a mono black revised 40 deck that kind of also works in Alpha 40 if you're interested in checking out either of those formats. I highly recommend giving them a look this weekend. Thanks again, as always, for watching and looking at some cool revised Magic cards. And give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Put a comment in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite revised card is, what your favorite deck is. Let me know if you've played Alpha 40, Revised 40, and how it went, and what your thoughts are. Be interesting to hear if you have a deck like this, and if you have any suggestions to make it better. Is there different creatures that you would use, or if there are another color that you would combine to make it a 2-color deck, let me know. That's what I got for today. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate all of you. Have a great day.